How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. I'm here with my fiance.
Thermite.
This is, as always, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. Jump in a ditch, motherfucker. This is Moon Knight, Season 1, Episode 1. As always, in case the episode titles come up in the episode itself, we do not look up the first episode title, even though it's never happened for anything in the MCU, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know. And I love that organic title in the thing. Are you familiar with Moon Knight as a character?
As a character, but I'm double blind here because I've never seen him solo. And also, the only thing I know is that, recently in the comics, they've been doing different stuff with him. Okay. And so, because this is a recent show, I don't know if they're going to do a, let's adapt the old stuff, or if it's a, let's do some of the new stuff, or, synergize.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have no idea what to expect, really. Just, the base premise of who he is.
Yeah. I know the design, that's it.
Okay.
I know he fights with the, moon sickle things. I don't know sure what they're called. But, very famous weapon. But, yeah, that's all I know. That's it. Batman-esque low-level, Daredevil-esque kind of lower-level hero, street-level kind of thing. That's it. Let's jump in. If you want to get the... I only have the full length. There's no edited for YouTube thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm too lazy, so just in the description below. Full length reaction. Check it out. If you want to get all the reactions to Moon Knight, they should already be on the Patreon for early access the whole season. Probably more. Who knows? Check it out. Check it out. Okay, we are here for the discussion of this one. First off, I've, seen the name Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac, I just recognize those names so much, but I've never been able to, put a face to the name. I don't think I've seen them in anything else, but, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but it was, at the very end, I was like, oh, that's who Oscar Isaac is.
Yeah.
I've heard so much about him, but, okay, so...
What is the title of this episode?
Oh, right, the title of this episode is The Goldfish Problem.
Okay.
Which, yeah. I was gonna say, that's very specific, but no, that has,
Yeah, that is kind of... It illuminates how you should think about the rest of it.
Yeah, he has, the goldfish memory sort of situation. I don't know what, the goldfish situation of it had one fin out. What do you think's up with that?
Well, because the person recognized that he came in the previous day, and he had been unconscious for, he had lost 3 days of time.
Right.
My guess is just the goldfish died. One of the other personalities, or the person possessing it, or whatever, Mark, saw that it was dead. Was like, oh, he's gonna be pissed off about this. Replaced it.
Yeah.
And so, and so the goldfish problem is both that, and I think also the fact that he is being replaced. That there's stuff going on that isn't him, and he's like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah, I was thinking of it as why would he replace the fish? Why would he give a shit? But why wouldn't he just be like, the fish died? But you're right. I think it is just, again, the don't look into it.
Yeah, part of it is also the vague Stephen's doing all this stuff to make sure that you can tell if he sleepwalks, and very clearly Mark is going well, I'm going to replace all this stuff. I'm gonna I'm just a person. I can put the the brace back on you. Doesn't matter.
I thought the sand was a supernatural thing, like a salt circle, but it's just to see the footprints. Okay, so do you think the lights are a delusion, or do you think it is actually happening?
Oh, that's a good question. How much of this is real?
Even the dog sound, is that nobody else seemed to hear it?
Yeah, I think that's definitely in his head or supernatural, depending on how this plays out.
I don't think it's even a delusion. I think it's being I don't know how it would work, but only it's being projected to where only he can hear it.
Yeah. Because, he brings up the electrical problems with the lady in the elevator, but that could have been anything.
Yeah.
And he kept on one of the big ones is he kept on hitting G for the ground floor, and they went up.
Yeah.
He went down one floor, and then they went up to the 5th floor. So, is that a delusion? Did he think he was hitting G when actually he was hitting one of the others?
Yeah, or did he just lose time there was in the elevator. You know, Mark took over, went back up to the 5th floor, and then
that would also make sense.
When they got up to like the 3rd floor, she got in.
I could see that.
Because it could have also been like, you know, the thing was like coming towards them, and so it could have been Mark takes over, you know, somehow gets it to like close and then brings it back up or something.
Yeah,
sure, but I think that's what it's got to be. Like not that it was like he was hitting G, he did go down to G, but then he just went back up.
That makes more sense to me. Yeah, I fully buy that.
But yeah, I thought he. What do you think was up with the jaw thing? And the fact like his gums were all bleeding and his teeth were kind of like fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a physical transformation thing or just a like he got his ass beat thing.
Because he went like it was as if it was like going back in like it was out of alignment, and then it was as if it was going back to place. He was like, that was weird.
Yeah, like if your jaw is out of alignment, you can't just kind of flex it back into place.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is just sort of.
And his mouth was like all bloody, and then it wasn't.
Yeah. Also, that could also. Like, I do think the goldfish was literally replaced, because he also said, like, if you're my goldfish, then I'm crazier. But it could also be a, like, the fin got regenerated. Like, maybe when they switch, they regenerate as well.
Maybe why would the goldfish also do that? But yeah, like, that's what I was thinking. Like, is there a regenerative thing to it? Or is it something like, when it's Mark's just like, like Mark is the carnivore, and is like, I'm gonna eat this fucking goat or something, and just unhinges his jaw to like swallow a whole goat. Like, and that's why like it might not have been his blood all over his teeth, but just like blood, like animal blood or something.
Maybe,
because also like whenever he switches back, like, the hand was covered in blood from the scarab and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that I assume that's what we're doing. Like, yeah. Okay, so. we don't. I'm not sure if we have a physical transformation, but we at least have like a costume transformation sort of thing.
Yeah.
He becomes wrapped in the bandages like a mummy and everything like that. But like, so what do you random shot? What the hell is going on? Give me your theory.
Okay, I think it is a Because we also had the, like, the girl saying, I thought, or not the girl. Who was it it was the main villain who was like, I thought Steven was just like a,
yeah, an alias.
Yeah, like an alias.
Like, he just gave him a fake name, because, of course, you should.
But yeah, my guess right now is Mark is, like, the main personality, and Steven is, like, cover of some sort. It is a, like, because he has more history. It seems like he's got the phone with all the messages he hasn't responded to for months. I feel like this is a, like, laying low situation.
Okay.
A, like Mark is a superhero who is fighting this cult or, like, other stuff connected to this whole Egyptian mythology. And for whatever reason, he needed to lay low and, like, became Steven.
I think Steven and Mark have been, together since the start, since he was born, even, maybe.
Okay.
And it's just that Mark went and got something that allows him to transform into whatever the fuck he's transforming into. And allows him to become, super strong, or, something that, or he's just been training a bunch or whatever. But I think this has just been a thing that's gone on for his entire life, but it's only recently that Mark has gotten involved with a bunch of this stuff that, but, okay, there is gotta be 3. There does have to be 3, because there is 3 voices.
Yeah, and when Steven's being talked to, it's always like we, or like you're the lame one. So yeah, I think it's got to be 3. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna guess it actually is Steven, Mark, and an Egyptian god.
Okay.
What was the one they brought up?
They kept on bringing up Hamet.
No, not Amit. There was another one they kept bringing up. Enid.
Well, no, that's the 9. Like, the 9 great Egyptian gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. I thought that was one of them. Okay, no, the Enid are the 9. I see. But yeah. So I'm not sure. But I do think that he is the third one is
I can see that.
one of the gods that was like fighting against Amit.
Yeah,
you know?
Because that definitely seems to be where we're going. Is Amit, wanted to take over the world, wanted to like pre-crime everyone.
Yeah,
and they said some of the gods, but I imagine it's like one in particular like stood up and
probably had others helping, but like it probably was like one in particular. Yeah. And yeah, so I do think Mark isn't like a god or something like that, but is just like a guy.
Okay.
And I mean, by a guy, like they're all just a part of him. Like I think the closest this is to is DID, dissociative identity disorder. I think. But yeah, used to be called schizophrenia and all that stuff. But that's where I am imagining we're going with this. Not as if Mark is this might be. There's Steve and there's Mark, and then also they're possessed by a third,
I can see that.
like an actual entity,
like simultaneous, like a secondary personality, but on top of that, a possession.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be my guess.
Okay.
It feels a little bit too complicated, but that's gonna be my guess.
Yeah, it's not that crazy.
It's not, but it feels a little bit more than I would expect for a TV show. But it could be. But it could also just be like that's why I'm like, is it gonna be two different possessions? I don't think so. And there's so much that is like the missing time and everything. Like there's so much that we're. They like, what the fuck, there's a space in my house that has like a phone that's not mine and keys that are mine. It's, like that's such a DID thing of just like feeling like you are being watched and you are being like something insanely complicated and huge and like conspiracy-esque is going on, but really it's just that you have multiple personalities and so yeah.
I do like that one a lot because I think that'd be an interesting play on also the paranoia that makes you think that either God is communicating with you or you are a god or something.
Yeah,
but like I think it'd be an interesting twist if it is like, well, that is there, but also there is literally a god inside of him.
Yeah.
Or, like, he thinks there's, like, there's conspiracy out to get him. He is very worried about that. Also, there literally is conspiracy that's out to get him.
Yeah, I think we're doing all of that. Which is gonna be super, like, that's the kind of shit I love. Like, taking a real-life sort of, like, thing, and then also, like, how to put it? We're gonna do the stereotype, and then we're also gonna do the, like the actual real life version of it. That would be cool, if we're getting actually have DID type stuff, but then also getting the like possessed by an Egyptian spirit, a whole conspiracy out to get you sort of situation. Doing them both could be really cool.
I'm a big fan of doing the both.
Yeah. So, and I like, that we have, the only real difference between, like, Mark and Steven is, like, Mark has a more serious face, and, it's like, it's in their expression and the way they hold themselves, rather than, like, I was like, are we doing a, like, physical transformation, Diavolo, Calvin Zabo sort of situation. But, yeah, and to be fair, that is, there is cases of that on a very, very, very small scale, but of like physical changes with personality stuff that is a thing, but I think the costume has to be the third possession. Mark's going like, let me take over, and then does like the scarab thing. I'm guessing of like, you do something with the scarab, like power up, Power Rangers, here we go. But something like that.
I can see that.
What else we want to talk about here? Do you think the cold statue guy is going to be a character?
Honestly, I don't know if this is a statue guy or just a statue. He's so good at it.
The reveal is just been a statue the whole time. I was even like, is this just like CG so they don't have to like just have somebody be here? But like there was one shot where you can see his arm move a tiny bit. So I was like, okay, that is a real guy.
Yeah, and he looks too good for CG.
Oh yeah.
Or like for Disney Plus CG.
Oh yeah. I would say for this sort of CG, a lot of the, like Falcon the Winter Soldier had insanely good CG, but then like the car chase thing was like you know, you were bringing up in Hawkeye, but I didn't notice it. This one, I definitely noticed it. But I am always a fan of going for it rather than not going for it.
And, like, again, like the Hawkeye one, like, this was very cartoony, so I think it fits.
Yeah, absolutely. And my only problem with a lot of CG is just, like, it's too fast. You know, they don't have it, you know, be a normal speed that it would realistically, you know, look good. So it's, like, sped up to make it look faster, so that way you won't notice that it's CG, but it's like, that makes it look more CG.
Yeah.
I don't even mind that it's CG, just slow it down so it's not as, like, weird. But I did love how Final Destination that shit was. And I do love that whenever we get a car chase, car fight thing in Marvel, it becomes the most, like, destructive shit you've ever seen. Like, but yet it's not the classic, like, the cars are exploding. It is just, like, crumpling. And every time, you know, it's like, you know, you can go, maybe those people aren't dying, until a car chase starts happening, and you go, everybody's dying.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, we're getting a lot of, way more blood and stuff like that than any other Disney Plus series so far.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're definitely going for more, like, brutal Marvel Knights feeling with Moon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, very into that, like, yeah. Especially since we just had, like, you know, Kingpin in the last thing, and we were just complaining about not showing him get shot.
That's a good point.
So, I take it back. They should have shown Kingpin get shot. If they could show those guys die, it'd show Kingpin get shot in the head. So, I'm going to say even more he's not dead.
Yeah.
The fact that we just got this afterwards, I'm saying he ain't dead. I mean, also, No Way Home was pretty damn bloody, too.
Well, I mean, I feel like that might just be a, like, different properties have different, like, levels.
Fair, yeah, because that's Sony.
Yeah, and, like, Hawkeye is also very Christmassy. It's a very family movie sort of series.
That is true. Yeah, that is, like, of all the ones, that's definitely the most family, watch this for your family one, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Also, I would like to I'd like to apologize when I said London was connected to Holland via land.
I was like, am I crazy?
No. Okay, what I was thinking of is, like, without having to take a boat or a plane or anything, you could go on the Channel from England to, you know, France.
What's the Channel?
It goes under the English Channel. It's a, like, big old tunnel. It's a rail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like,
they have that.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's one of the classic, you go on vacation, you want to, like, jump to multiple countries. You use that to either go to England if you're on the mainland, or from England to... But yeah, like... it's theoretically possible, I think, to go from, like, London to either, like, Germany or Holland or wherever we were.
Yeah.
But I was also, like, going, like, it'd be a tough one for a day. Like, you know, you're doing some superhero shit for that. But if it's 3 days, I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking he had to have taken a boat or a plane. And I mean, it would still be possible. He seems to have, you know, he's got the phone, he's got, like, a card and stuff like that, so maybe not a phone, but a boat, maybe easier.
Yeah, like, he's definitely got a life, at the very least. Like, there are connections there. It's not just, I wake up and I don't know what to do.
Do you think this is a period piece, or are we in, you know, 2025 or whatever the fuck?
Oh, fuck, I genuinely don't know.
Because I don't think we ever get any dates. We get dates, but no year.
Yeah, and all the phones I believe we've seen have been flip phones.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, the MCU loves to do, you know, like, smartphones or, like, slightly futuristic stuff now where, like, post-Endgame.
Yeah, nothing here has seemed like it, like, I think it's even earlier than 90s, but, like, the 90s is, like, I don't see anything past the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at cars, so I have no fucking
Yeah, I don't know either. Definitely nothing, like, futuristic looking. It all looks like stuff we grew up with.
Yeah. I mean, also, you know, we're not from Europe, so it's hard to tell with that sort of situation, too.
Yeah. Oh, actually.
Yeah, he does have a smartphone at one point. Or, yeah, Mark had the
right. Phone. Which also makes sense, like a burner phone situation.
But no, he does have, okay, so maybe this is 2025.
Yeah.
That is this year we're in, right? 2025?
I believe so. But yeah, so probably not a period piece then.
Yeah. It was just, it's interesting that, like, they are not really saying the date or anything like that.
Yeah, and, like, the stuff he has, like, a lot of the stuff he has is very old. There's, like, you know, the songs are all older. Mm-hmm. But I think that's just sort of throwbacky. Because also, I imagine it's probably calling back to, like, I don't remember when Moon Knight first comes out, but I think it's in the 80s.
Okay.
So that might just
also
be, like...
a 60s music? But yeah, interesting. There's nothing to really point one way or the other. Other than the smartphone is like the only thing. I think. And I'm not even sure if it was a smartphone. Like, I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, for now, undetermined.
It's just interesting that it can be undetermined at all. Like, they're definitely going at the very least for a,
at the very least it is in 2000s with the computers they have and stuff. Like, it is at the very least 2000s.
But yeah, like, Hawkeye was a very, like, how do you do a, like, a murder mystery situation in the modern day? Because it's so hard to do with modern technology.
Yeah.
Whereas I think this is more of a, like, we're stripping back the technology a bit so it can be a little more throwbacky, a little more gritty. You're not just asking, well, why doesn't he just Google the answer?
I'm glad we're also getting, like, a monster movie type thing. Like, I'm glad we're getting more of that with, like, Eternals and now this, like...
Yeah.
I like more of this, monster stuff.
I'll never be able to look at this stuff without remembering the, like, controversy around Multiverse of Madness when Kevin said, we're going to do the first horror movie, and they got a bunch of pushback, and he was like, no, actually, it's not that much of a horror movie, really.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is definitely, not, like, pure, scary, gory horror or anything, but, like, definitely big horror vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, like, being chased, being stalked, not knowing what's going on, like, personality horror, the, like, what the hell is going on, who am I?
Conspiracy thriller, sort of.
Like, it's a heart pumper, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. And yeah, I find it fascinating that the thing, like, is so wild and crazy and fast and, the creature, and yet it doesn't knock over anything.
Yeah. Like, that also brings up the question of, like, is it in his head? Or is it just, intentionally not destroying stuff because it's all Egyptian stuff, maybe?
Yeah. Is it just Deku fighting, whatever that guy's name, I can't remember what his name was. Night Eye or something. I love that sense of, like, with this Egyptian stuff, like, when you have, like, a villain, like an Egyptian villain, or especially, like, Egyptian god villain and stuff like that, it is this, like, even if they are, like, even if you're even trying to portray them as, like, this very evil future crime and devouring these souls and stuff like that, they are still extremely respectful of, like, the Egyptian culture and all that stuff, and it's, like, I love that layer to it, and especially even the main villain. Like, I love, like, he's very clearly a fucked up evil guy, but he has that, like, immediate, like, calmness to him.
Yeah.
But not even in, like, a, like, terrifying calmness to him. Almost in, like, a reassuring calmness. Like the fact that he got him to, like, get his hands there, like, he is so, like, disarming, but in a way where you are still scared, but are just letting it happen.
Yeah.
I'm staking my guess that he's a mad thinker.
Okay.
he's got the exact hair down and everything. Like, I would like, specifically also with the, like, she looks throughout your past, your present, and your future. Like, could be something with, like, the that, like,
I can see it.
It would be wild to be doing the mad thinker for this. I mean, I don't know how the mad thinker is in, like, modern comics. I mean, he's the most ridiculous fucking I hate him so much in the comics, but
I don't have any guesses, so that's as good as any.
Yeah.
Like my guess is just, villain I don't know about.
Yeah, I was just going solely off the hair, and then I was maybe like, no. But then when he said, I was like, the past, present, future thing, it made me go, maybe. Like, I'm on, like, a 15% it's the mad thinker. Like, not even, like, I think it is, but, like, there's a seed of doubt, like, 15%. It's a sizable portion.
Yeah. Also, I do just love that, like, I love Amit's, like, motivation as a villain thing.
Yeah.
It is such an inherently, like, I can already appreciate our main villain as being a, someone who does want the best for the world, in the sense of, like, like, there wouldn't be a Hitler if you could just insta-judge him as a kid and go, like, oh, you're gonna commit war crimes, dead.
Yeah. It's the fucked up thing of, like, it's the kind of thing where I love villains like that, of, I understand where you're coming from, but I can never go down, you can never do it this way.
Yeah. There's a potential utopia there, but it's also, like, inherently an evil utopia. Because there's also no checks and balances on it. It is truly a, like, well, you killed me. I guess I may have become an evil person when I was like 80 or something. Who knows? I mean, that lady, for instance, she lived, from what she said, she was a good person her whole life.
Yeah.
So it is really a, like, well, at some point after retirement age, you're gonna be an evil person, and that's why you gotta die.
Yeah, which is also so fucked up. Like, why not kill them when they're gonna do it? Like, that would still be fucked up. But even then, like, okay, let Hitler live until, like, the moment where he's gonna do something bad, and then, like, once it is now this person is going to do a bad action that would have let their soul be consumed, that's when you let Ahmet do it. But, like, of course, that ain't how it works.
Of course.
But, like, yeah, she did literally get, like, her soul or vitality, like, sucked out. And I wonder if he, like, takes that in himself.
Yeah. Because also, how does that work if we take it to be objectively true? That, like, once you are judged, you are good past, present, and future. Does that mean that, like, ontologically, you are good? Like, there's no action you can take that is evil. Like, if you pull out a gun and you try to shoot a kid, if they are evil, then you will be able to shoot them. If they are not evil, you literally cannot shoot them because that would be an evil action.
I could see it.
Like, how deep are we going with it? Because, again, if we're talking about gods, that's not an unfair question.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because also, just, it's a classic hero-villain thing of your hero should be someone who is, like, an exception to the villain or the opposite of the villain. And so I appreciate the immediate, this is a black or white thing. Either you are good, in which case you will not be killed, or you're bad, in which case you will die. And Steven is immediately neither. It is, for whatever reason, the scales are still moving.
Yeah.
That's just an impossibility. Like, the concept of someone like that immediately breaks the entire system, because then it's like, well, it's not a black or white thing. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, that scene was the exact scene of Shadi meeting Yugi for the first time in Yu-Gi-Oh! By the way, I have been reading Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first time for months, a year now or something on the Patreon, so if you want to check it, I can't host them on YouTube because it's a Shueisha-owned manga, and they will kill me. They will throw my ass in jail and execute me.
They will judge you and find you guilty and kill you.
Ahmet will murder me if I put this on YouTube, so you gotta go to the Patreon for it, okay? But, yeah, perfectly fitting for right now. We're in Battle City, by the way. Very into Battle City tournaments. We'll go check it out. Well, by the time this comes up...
Who knows?
By the time this comes up, I might be in Millennium World. Go check it out. Anyway. I wasn't like when it was first, when we were first getting this, I was like, ooh, I like this Yu-Gi-Oh, aesthetic of like Egyptian, someone possessing. I'm just into that stuff in general. Yu-Gi-Oh's great with it, but then like that scene with did we get his name? We got his name, the main villain, but I'll have to go back and check it. And
I don't remember it.
But yeah, like that was just like this is I wanted Oscar Isaac to go, to me! Anything else we want to talk about, though? Do you think we're going to go anywhere with his love life? Or do you think we're just going to go, he's gay in love with himself?
I think Mark fucks. Like, I think we're going to do the Steven is a virgin Mark fucks.
Okay.
Because also, like, Mark is the one who asked this girl on a date.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't think it'll be, like, a serious thing. I don't think we're going to do, like, an actual love interest thing.
Why did Mark ask her out on a date and then go to fucking Holland or wherever the hell that was?
That's a good question. I mean, maybe he's just sort of a playboy type. Yeah. Like,
did he have the scare before that, actually?
I think we see it for the first time when he wakes up over there.
Yeah, because maybe he went there to steal that. Like, he was in that castle, he stole it, he jumped out the window, landed on his fucking jaw first.
Yeah. I could see that. Because also, like, with all series like this, the question is, like, why is it popping off now? Why are we starting here now?
Yeah.
And I can see it if he's had this personality forever, and this is the first time that this personality has been able to, like, get a magic artifact or, like, really get deep into this stuff.
Yeah. Like, maybe that is now, maybe the transformation, into the suit is only possible with the Scarab, and before it was just, Steven and Mark.
Yeah, because also we have done a big jump from Steven, like there's a very good, there are good reasons why he's just been like, well, I sleepwalk sometimes, but that's it. It's not a big deal. Like nothing on this scale has ever happened to him, or else he would say, yeah, some really fucked up stuff happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is the first big escalation.
Yeah.
And before, like, I don't remember what the name of the girl was that he was, like, calling. But maybe...
Lydia or something?
Yeah. I'm guessing that before that point he was doing a lot of, like, very, like, low scale, we're trying to find this cult, or something to that effect.
Yeah. And there was also, like, one other, like, you know, it was...
Layla.
Yeah, Layla. But yeah, there was, you know, it was all missed calls. For months he hasn't seemed to call anybody. We don't know. But then there was also one missed call from Duchamp. Duchamp.
Yeah. That wasn't Swordsman's name, right?
No. That was Duquesne.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. The long hallways, you know, that was such a great, like, horror scene.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say because a lot of this episode is aesthetic and, like, the slow build and the slow, like, what is going on here.
I mean, I think we got a pretty good prediction for, like, where we're going and what's going on and stuff. Way more than we can for most other shows. Like, I like how much information we get in this. Oh, I didn't notice the scales were on its head. I didn't.
No, same.
I did not notice that. That's dope. And yeah, so they got, like, people all over.
Yeah. Also, just... I just love Steven's whole, like, you know, needing to stay up a long time, and the fact that, you know, apart from everything else, he is very into Egyptology.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, he's doing research on it in order to stay up, he works at an exhibit and all that. Like, even that, I wonder, like, how connected that is to the whole Mark situation. Is it a, like, you know, like a subconscious headmate situation of, like, hey, you should also be looking into Egypt stuff. Like, you do research while I'm, you know, like, napping or while I'm doing the, like, bloody work.
Yeah. Also, I think, you know, he's Egyptian? Is he not? I'm gonna actually look that up. Is Oscar Isaac Egyptian?
No, he's Guatemalan.
He's Guatemalan. So, okay, no. I thought he was, like I said that earlier, I was like, but no, so I guess he just has, like, an interest in this. I thought it was, like, that's why I was also, like, it's interesting if it was, like, Mark is the one that is, like, an American accent, but he's the Egyptian one, but okay, so he's not Egyptian.
Yeah.
Maybe the character is supposed to be, but I don't know.
Maybe, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. I'm so terrible with accents. I mean, I couldn't even fucking tell if Mark had an American accent. I have no idea.
Same.
But he had, you know, a very, like, if it was an accent, it was an understated accent where I couldn't even hear what the hell it would have been. But yeah, I think that's all we got for now. Yeah. See you guys for the next episode. Till then, get the fuck out of here. Oh, actually, no, one last thing.
Oh?
The shoes that, you know, the glass was put in at the beginning, you know, I like that it's like, it's those kind of shoes that are woven in a way that looks like alligator skin sort of thing. Yeah, okay. Okay. Bye-bye. See you for the next one.